From our County Attorney, Dan Sigler.
I really, the things I have to report on are the two contract issues for approval coming before you guys, so I'll just defer to their presentation, Nathan and April. And then-
Sounds good.
Okay.
Did you have anything that you needed to talk to Dan about right now, or we'll just wait here?
No, I'll wait till their presentation. and
Okay.
then Might have a couple questions. but-
I don't have anything.
Okay, next on the agenda, April Whetstone on the Fiddler contract. Our county recorder.
I did want to just give you a quick update on our office. We have the opportunity to change our software process. I asked Carter to come, but I don't see him here yet to help explain the technical side of it, but maybe we can just keep it on the English side. That'll be easier for all of us. The product we have now, we have had since 2007, and we have maintained the same contract with our company since that time. If we want to update to a new software-driven, instead of using, let me see if I can get the terms. The product we use now is operated by not Google. And we're afraid that the Windows is not going to be supported for very many years in the years going forward. So we are considering going to this new product that's Google-driven, still by the same software company. And the fee, of course, would be pretty exorbitant to switch at one time. So they're giving us an offer to update from when we first went with them, we were offered basically a discounted package for service. So we've been paying that lower rate all along, and that's changed from $7,500 in 2007, and it's up to just under $10,000 now. With the new proposal, it will increase to $17,000 per year. But if we increase our annual fee, then we won't have the huge lump sum when we get the new software. So pay a little bit at a time instead of a lot when it's installed.
So you want a favorable recommendation to go to council, and you have the fee money to do this with?
If it needs to go to council. Since I do have the money in my perpetuation fund, I'm not sure if council would have to approve that or not, but I would be more than happy to at least share the information with them.
I think it should be.
Yeah, I think it has to be appropriated. I mean, you may have the money, but it may not be appropriated, so.
My fund doesn't have to be,
I'll deal with Jana on that, or we'll
Right.
deal with Jana, but so you have the money then, huh?
correct,
Okay.
yes.
Make a motion, we give it a favorable pass to the council.
Okay, we've got a motion for a favorable pass. Got a second? Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
Thank you.
Thank you, April.
That was all due to my work on this, April. I hope you understand that.
Thank you, sir.
Nobody even had a question.
I guess we should have asked.
No, I've already discussed it, whether I wasn't complaining, I was just kidding her, so.
So you've seen the contract?
Yeah,
and
oh, yeah.
you're-
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay,
And no,
okay.
and it's really the same contract with some tweaks in it and a little bit different service, and I think it really is a smart thing to do,
Okay.
so, yeah.
Okay, next on the agenda is Nathan Bilger, City Force contract. He is our Executive Director of the Planning and Building Department. This will be the final contract for the new code amending software that we've been talking about since March or so, and
Okay, is that what I have here?
this is, I know this is the
Okay,
final version.
okay,
so.
okay.
It's revised per Dan's comments. Couple references to Ohio for change to Indiana.
Good.
So requesting approval on that. We've already discussed it several months ago, and council's discussed it twice as well.
if you have any questions for me.
So Dan has seen this
Yes.
and made the changes have been made?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the funding is set up or?
Funding, yes, the way we're doing it, it's a 2/3-1 split between my department and the health department. We would both be using the software, and so funding would come through that. With our increased permit fees coming in this past couple weeks ago, we shouldn't have any issue covering our 2/3 of the annual maintenance fee. And then the health department's grant would cover the upfront installation costs.
Does it need to go to the council then? I mean, what, if we make a motion, what are we making a motion for?
Did you make a motion?
No. I'm just asking if we make a motion, what do we make a motion for?
For approval
For
to go to the
approval of
council.
this.
Yeah, go ahead, yep.
I have a couple of questions, if I might.
Sure.
It says we have to pay ahead at the start of each quarter. Is that correct?
I believe that is the way it's set up. Initially, I will say that the setup fee, if we pay the first 6 months in up ahead, we get a lifetime discount of an additional 10% across the board. And again, that is including the grant money right now. Would be paying for that plus the actual setup. So the first 6 months plus the setup would be paid through that grant. And then I believe you're right that from there on, we're paying ahead each quarter.
And then I noticed that the contract can be broke by either party within 30, 60 days by written notice. Is that correct?
I believe there's an initial 3-year term, and then after that, it's by either party or for breach of contract, but yeah.
And then at that time, it says all non-cancelable and all fees and other amounts paid are non-refundable. The county has a couple times got stung on the fact that we went ahead and paid, which I don't think we're, that's a new word for you. Think legally that we can pay for, is this a service? Would you classify this as a service?
Yeah, I think I would. I think it's a
We
service.
cannot, I don't know if that's different than the contract we had, Muncie was the last one.
Right.
And my only question is, if we would go ahead and pay, now it says also in here, I believe, I was reading it, that the company can say we go after the 3 years and get into a couple months and we went out of it and the quarter's not over. They have a right to get the fees, but I didn't see anything in here where if we would drop it after the end of the 3rd year, if they would refund the money that we didn't use in the remainder of that quarter.
Okay.
Now, I don't want to be difficult, I just don't want to waste county money.
No, I get that, definitely.
But I don't know. Did you see it in?
Yeah, it does say that they'll refund, we only are responsible through the period used on there.
I know, but if we pay ahead, where's it written in there? It says they will refund.
Well, yeah, I think that would be simple enough to add that language, if they will. They agree to any unused fees will be refunded to the county in the event of an early termination of this agreement.
Are you saying that is written in there?
It's not. I'm saying he should add that. I'm saying he should add, according to your concern.
Well, I don't care, that's just my feeling.
Right.
They each get a vote here, but
No.
trying to protect the county's money.
Yeah, I don't.
It says they
Right.
will refund it,
Right.
sure.
So we could make a motion, but contingent upon them adding that clause, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I would do, and say you just need that clause added. They'll add that without question.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
don't
a,
think that'd be an issue.
yeah, yeah. And he wrote it down, that's why I restated it, so he would have the language. You got it down, Nathan?
Yeah,
Okay.
Do you have a section that you think that should go into?
Yeah, I think it's in section 12.4, responsibilities upon termination.
Okay.
The other thing I would say to you is on, when you have these notices and these contracts on terminations, so you need to save that somewhere or diary of that somewhere. A lot of times the department has to come and say, well, we want to end this contract, and, maybe somebody succeeds you, or maybe you've succeeded somebody, and nobody knows when that magic date is, and then we miss it, and then, then we're stuck for another so many days. So
Yeah.
keep that somewhere where you remember it, because you may need to use it.
Well, hopefully we don't have too many
Yeah.
contracts in our department.
Right, but you don't want to, and hopefully it won't be a problem.
Thank you for making that change. I
Yeah, thank you.
appreciate that. And
Thank you for the notice.
that, that's all, it's quite a lengthy contract.
Yeah, it is. Huh? Do you have anything?
No, I was just gonna, if he thought, if he wants to make the motion.
I make a motion
contingent-
that we allow the planning department to work through this with necessary changes that was recommended, and that we approve the contract with Citicorp.
Okay, we've got a motion to approve the contract.
City Force.
We've got a second. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you.
So once they change the language, does it need a commissioner signature?
I would prefer it, given the nature of the
Okay, well,
contract.
they should be able to quick back to you.
Yeah,
Okay.
later this week,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, so they can just sign it.
I
George,
think
okay.
Okay.
if I recall, I think it only take, could I make an addendum to my motion
Yes,
and say upon getting that in there, if they approve it, that the chairman be allowed to sign it, and that way you
Okay.
can start.
Okay.
Yeah, I would second the amendment or.
Okay, motion has been amended, seconded. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
That way you get it on the way.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yep. Good idea.
Okay, next on the agenda is Nathan Bilger, rezoning petition.
Thank you again. At the first meeting in July, Tom, you weren't here, but you had considered a rezoning petition for parcel of land owned by the Hilty family. The petition is for rezoning it from agricultural to Parks and Rec to allow for a proposed lodge use. Lodge uses are by interpretation, they're a special exception use under the Parks and Recs district. This is about a 14.5 acre parcel on 150 South. Because Mr. Ruthlick wasn't here and because the attorney wasn't here, it was continued to this meeting for everyone's consideration. In the time being, I have met with the Hiltys as well as their attorney, Mr. Townsend, as well as the program director for BOA, who is also in the audience, Shelley Chavez. So they may have some more words to add if you wish to hear from them. But if that's the summary of where we are. If you have questions for me at this point, be happy to address them. Otherwise, I would invite you to listen to their representative.
Well, this is basically got simplified. It's just simply, we're talking about rezoning 14 some odd acres from agricultural to park and recreation, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all we're dealing with.
Yep.
Okay.
And the intended use, as I mentioned, is a lodge, possibly with some camping involved as well.
Did- Go ahead.
Does this fit in with the zoning and the comprehensive plan and all this?
By my interpretation, the comprehensive plan for the agricultural districts, of course, agricultural is the primary consideration, but they do allow for some agricultural business, for one, and then also it really recommends agritourism. So things like farmers markets and, let's say, for example, Halloween corn mazes, and then dairy farms that you can visit and so on. Anything that would bring people into an area that would be agricultural, maintaining the permitted uses under agriculture, but bringing people in. So this type of nature with a lodge use, you would definitely be bringing people in. It's still compatible within the agricultural use. You're not rezoning it to commercial, for example, which would open up a lot of other commercial uses. So in my opinion, yes, it's not explicitly stated in the comprehensive plan, but it seems to be a natural extension of what is stated in there.
Thank you.
Nathan and I have talked a little bit about this. In fact, I had him get the comprehensive plan book out, and it is agricultural tourism is a part of it. But yeah, it seems like this is probably the way to go, but that there's probably more work to be done in what is a hunting lodge or a camping lodge or something like. I told him I don't think a hunting lodge is a camping lodge. So, but those are things down the road for another. Today, I guess we're just talking about rezoning this, and I would make a motion that we follow the recommendations of the Planning Commission in that and rezone it to Park and Recreation.
Okay, we've got a motion to approve the rezoning from agricultural to Parks and Recreation.
Second for discussion.
Got a second?
Is this going to, because we know all the talk there's been about the lodge and the hunting, which I'm not sure is going or not.
Right.
But is this going to back the Plan Commission and the commissioners in a corner? Well, you approved that. Now we're coming in to get this approved, and it's in conjunction with the lodge and everything. I don't know, I'm just
Yeah.
asking. I have no problem with what they're asking now, 14 acres. But there's another, 66 acres hanging out there too. And I would have some reservations about that, but that has nothing to do with this vote.
Two things came to my mind. I was really concerned about this. I really was. But two things came to my mind. First of all, I believed that the DNR was probably the overriding government body for this, and found out that's not right at all. It's the Board of Animal Health. That's and we don't really have any say in what they do. The other thing I got to thinking about, because I was kind of worried about shooting in that acreage, but then I got to thinking, and I told Nathan this morning, if hunting season was in right now, it was legal to hunt, there's no reason you can't go hunt there right now. You can hunt any place. So I guess I'm comfortable with what we're doing, and I'll let the Animal Control Board worry about whether it's dangerous to the neighbors or not. I think that was taken out of our hands, I feel, so.
Okay, call for the question.
Okay, those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Didn't mean to make you spend all that money and come today, I'm sorry. I know how expensive these lawyers can be sometimes, so.
He's much more reasonable, Mr. Townsend's much more reasonable than I am.
Make sure you got that down.
It's in the
Oh,
record.
it's on, you can see it, on YouTube later today.
You can play that back for me someday, Alan.
I will.
All right,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have John Myers with the local company expansion plans. John is our EDC director.
Yes, so, gentlemen, I'm here today with Impact CNC, local company that is heavily into manufacturing. I don't know, I know all the things you see on TV. They might tell you that U.S. manufacturing's in the doldrums, but anywhere you go in Whitley County or Northeast Indiana, that's not the case. We've got folks growing. It's more of an issue of finding people to do the jobs than actually finding the work to get done. So I am here today with Dwight Bushy and Karen Harple. Dwight's the Chief Operating Officer for Impact CNC. Karen's the Controller for the company. You may have seen something in the paper this last week about a project that they presented to the city of Columbia City. I just wanted to clarify that this is a completely different project from the project that the city considered last week. So in that project, they were expanding to do some work for big heavy equipment companies and adding 9 employees. This project is at a different one of their sites, which is located within the county's jurisdiction, to add an additional 10 jobs and to add a line that will provide parts for a big auto company. So good work, good paying jobs. I know in the information that I provided to you, I know the wages are a little bit below the county average, but I'd also like to point out that these are starting wages for folks that are going to be coming to work for the company, and it doesn't, there's nothing in those numbers that reflects the 401k plan and good benefits, health insurance, other things that Impact CNC provides in addition to the wages. So the Impact CNC's asking for 2 components in this package. One is tax abatement, which we'll take up with the council tomorrow. But the second component is a use of CEDAT funds to, again, help get this project off the ground, primarily kind of the front-end costs of getting folks trained up and getting ready to do this work. In the cost-benefit analysis that I provided to you, just the direct benefits to the county related only to these jobs and equipment purchases and real estate improvements, the project would pay itself back to the county in about 6 years. If you took into consideration the indirect benefits, so additional business to restaurants, people buying houses, the money getting spent within the community, the payback drops down to about 2 years for the payback to the county. So it's a good project, good jobs, and again, this is new work that's coming to the county from a big automotive company. And I was just talking to Karen before we started. There's probably a lot more of this to come. So kind of on the front end of some big growth for the folks at Impact CNC. I don't know, Dwight, is there anything that I missed or anything that you'd like to add?
No, you're exactly right on the wage. We have a lot of success with hiring people that have never even seen a CNC machine before. And we go to great lengths to hire them. And we have some really great employees that have worked their way up. So with us while they're learning and progressing, and we make sure that we keep pay rates fair to them. And Thursday, we found out we awarded, we won't start till 2018, a very large contract, and that will be 20 employees and about early stages of that one. We just found out Thursday afternoon on that one, so.
All good stuff.
What kind of balance do we have on off-site, on-site fund at this time?
Right around $100,000.
Hundred?
Yeah.
What, 50?
I guess the question along that line is, could that 50 come from this training grant that you got, or is that something totally out of the question?
Yeah, I mean, certainly, we can help out with training. I think this was kind of their whole model together, though, that we were asking for $50,000 from the
And I don't have a problem with 50,000, I just didn't know if the training grant, you and Willie Noble shared a
Right,
training
right,
grant, right?
right, mhm.
Yeah, I just want to make sure we weren't going to spend money that might have been laying there for the same purpose.
And what-
That's used for personnel more than what they want to use it.
Yeah. To answer your question also, is there was $120,000 taken out of onsite, offsite for,
It's coming back.
yeah, that's going to be coming back
forgot
to
about
us
that.
also. So actually, we do have right around $220,000 in there, but it's, at this time,
Monthly check from the state, so.
yeah, plus what we get from the state monthly.
I'd make a motion that we approve this, although I see that all the signatures come from the county council, so,
Right.
so would my motion be a favorable pass? to the-
Favorable pass.
Okay, my motion is for a favorable pass to the county council.
Second.
We got a motion, and we got a second for a favorable pass to the county for $50,000 in training funds. Any further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
Yeah, and I'd add, I mean, this will be subject to a written agreement like we've done with other folks. So if they don't perform or don't create the jobs or pack up and move to China,
Right.
whatever the case may be, that will,
The great thing is with the training that they do, we've always got a trained person within the community that can go any place at that point.
Just as a quick question, do you have trouble hiring personnel that's qualified to do your work?
Highly skilled, we do. I think probably everybody has that.
What, define a highly skilled job to me, a
Somebody-
computer,
Maybe 10 years' experience on CNC and is able to do almost anything, those types of people.
okay,
We probably get one a month that comes in. If you get the people with 2-3 years' experience, we get quite a few. And we don't struggle, our turnover is relatively low. And I think, I'm not sure why, we have a good-looking facility, we're clean inside, and we treat our people fairly.
that's probably why you haven't come in, treating them.
Yeah, we don't struggle on that,
Oh,
but like
okay.
maintenance type would be probably, engineering and maintenance would probably be our hardest to fill.
Okay, thank you.
And I understood that this is basically designed for the unskilled. Is this sort of like an apprenticeship program?
We've got jobs that aren't as complex, I
Yeah,
guess. We
yeah.
use those more as the entry level, and so on day one, we have, it depends on the difficulty of the job, but we have a mentor-based training program, hip to hip, so every job has required minimum training hours. So our entry-level jobs, that might be up to a week. Then they're more simple, not many gauges, not many tools. It's not intricate work, I guess, just quality is very important in delivery. So we start out entry-level people on those jobs. We know that their attitude's good, they're coming to work every day. They check parts as they're supposed to, and they do all aspects of the job as required. And that's the people, so they do well there, then we move them up on the more difficult machine. If somebody has experience, we can start them off on the more difficult machines instead of entry level.
Yeah, to somewhat. I guess my question was, you make it sound like it's easy to find folks for this particular project, and more so than
I'm
the,
one of the few people in manufacturing that's gonna say that, and I understand that. Everybody I talk to, it's, we can't hire nobody, we can't hire nobody, we can't hire nobody. I don't have an answer, we
Yeah.
don't seem to struggle with that.
good. No, that's great. Be proud of that. Be proud of that.
You know, and I tell people what we do, and I don't know. it works
Yeah.
very well for us.
Yeah. No, you should be proud of that. I just didn't know that that market segment was out there that was ready to go to work and didn't have all the experience that they needed, so.
And we're selective on who we hire. It's not, if you're brief, you come in, we're
Yeah.
not by hiring you.
Yeah, I got you.
And we're selective, but it works well. It works well.
Makes me happy. Thank you. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Anything
John.
else?
I think that's
Thanks,
it.
John.
Okay.
Have a nice vacation.
Yep, thanks.
Be careful.
George, I'm gonna head out.
Thank you.
Got everything? Okay.
Yeah, I think everything's. Did you have anything else for Dan before he leaves?
See ya.
Thank you, Dan. Okay, let's go to minutes and claims. Has everyone had a chance to take a look at the minutes?
I apologize. Can you just give me a second here real
Sure.
quick? I'm sorry. I was gonna come back from lunch and make sure I did that. Thank you, sir.
Any additions, subtractions? For the
I
plan?
have a question, but it doesn't have to do with the, so, make a motion, we accept the minutes.
Okay, we got a motion to accept the minutes as presented. We've got a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
My quick question was, did we get a letter from PERF? Did
We
that?
have not yet. They
Okay.
said it could be quite a few weeks.
That's fine. I just, okay.
Do we have to continue this then if we didn't? Because we tabled it. Do we table this into the next meeting?
Yeah.
You
we
would,
get the letter.
you would think so, because we gotta have the letter. So I make a motion that we table the PERF conversation until the letter arrives.
Okay, we got a motion.
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? Okay, the motion to table the PERF discussion until we do get a letter from PERF. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. Let's look at claims.
Mr. Chairman, I went over the claims and saw nothing unordinary about them. Around 264,000 in total, which is down to about 90,000. So.
Good, thank you.
So moved that they be approved.
Second.
Got a motion, we've got a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. Brandon, did you have anything?
I do, thank you. A few months ago, I brought a right-of-way permit to the commissioners for a telecommunications tower, about 120 foot tall, and it was proposed to be placed at the southeast corner of 400 East and Park 30. based on, I think, a few factors, including probably safety and traveling public. That request was denied. So we have another request, and the location, it's the same tower, but the location is different. And this proposed site, if you look at the second page, it's on County Road 700 East, basically on the edge of shoulder, which would just be a couple feet off of the edge of pavement, south of US 30. The thing that's better about this site than the previous is there's not, it's not a through road, because part of that road has been vacated, actually down to Hyla Road now, due to SDI's facilities. There are no safety guardrail or anything proposed with this, and Nathan and I met with their permitting gentleman on Thursday afternoon, and he's going to take some of other questions and concerns back to the powers that be. So I guess I'm not asking for approval. Of course, you could approve the permit. I wasn't expecting a permit application. I just thought we were going to have a discussion last Thursday. Obviously, within your rights, you could deny it. You could table it until we get some additional information on safety concerns. And there was also talk about having this company get with SDI. There is the potential of further vacation of part, the rest of that, basically up to US 30. They've got some security issues out there with the expansion, L.B. Foster and other companies, and so that's just been off, unofficial talk, but there is banter of that, and so.
See, I've met with Josh Horning from SDI about other issues, but one of the issues, and I guess I'm sorry, maybe we dropped the ball. I thought they were going to ask for a vacation, and I thought that was the best thing we could do, is to vacate that section of 700 East.
And yes, I believe that they want to do that. There were some other issues with the previous vacation and the railroad crossing and NDOT's commitment, or commitment that fell through, I'll say. And so we did our part with all that. There's discussion about the bridge that we also vacated, and SDI did help and contribute to that crossing, the closure, and so the last I talked to him, I think that as far as my concerns and requests and requirements, that they had met everything that I thought we could require of them. So I thought their next step would be to request that vacation, but I haven't seen that. Well, I think they have an attorney working on it. But
Okay, well, so going back to this, I guess, Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion that we deny the request because of the precedents, and that would be, we would be allowing a tower in one of our easements, something we didn't feel like we wanted to do previously. So I guess I make a motion, we deny the request.
Okay, we got a motion to deny.
I'll second for discussion.
Second for discussion. Further discussion?
I'm wondering if, and I don't know how to state this because we have a motion, a second on the table, but I was wondering, until we hear back from them of maybe an alternative plan or safety guards or something like it, if we should give them the opportunity rather than just flat denial But now, that's just discussion.
Well,
Now, we got.
I love the site. I honestly love the site. And
But
I'm just confused that, I thought we were gonna vacate that section of the road. If that section of the road is vacated, this is a no-brainer. My concern is they'll wanna put a tower. If we say yes to this, it says, then we're gonna allow you to put a tower in any one of our easements, our county highway easements. And I guess we thought those were way too close to the road.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's a safety issue. They haven't
That's what I was
provided
thinking.
and then I'm saying it needs, a regular W-beam guardrail, like the 90% of the guardrail that you see, it's got the two, it's like a W, okay, as opposed to what they call a
Right.
Thri-beam, which has 3 curves. Cars will drive through W-beam guardrail. So, and I told this guy, it'd probably take more than that, at least Thri-beam, if not 2 layers of Thri-beam, to keep people from running into that under a normal situation. This is not, again, it's not through traffic, but as far as denying, you could deny it as presented because they don't provide for any safety.
Well, that's the motion, so I call for the question.
Okay, we've got a motion to deny as presented. We've got a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. And what I would like to see also is that we contact SDI, or there is some back and forth with SDI on this.
Yes, and that was part of our conversation.
Yeah.
So I think so. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. Pam, did you have anything?
Yes, I do. Well, the first one is request to use the county facilities for Friday and Saturday, December 2nd and 3rd, for the Whitley County Community Christmas Committee. Here,
Don't even want to think about December.
there's only 18 more Fridays till Christmas. Everybody's like, oh.
That's a move.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? Further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
Thank you. And the last thing, while you guys are signing that information, I just wanted to get in the meeting that one of our maintenance individuals is okay to receive a cell phone stipend back to January 1st, 2016. I think I'd already asked you guys about it, and you're aware of it. But that individual, the department head, did not go in front of the commissioners and know that he had to do that, to request that stipend for this. That's fine. Stipend. We've already cut him a couple checks for June. We're just wanting to make it official in a meeting.
I guess I just thought it was policy. I mean, are we still dealing with every individual that comes before us?
Yes, at this point we are. The
We are?
department head just wasn't aware of that. So, yep.
Make a motion to approve then.
A motion?
Say.
Second? Further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
That's all I have. Thanks, Julie.
Jana?
I actually do not have much of anything other than what Dawn mentioned earlier. I am meeting with George Helton on Friday for our county's budget, so if you would like to maybe sit in, and even maybe Pam, so maybe she kind of gets a feel for what we have to do.
What time is that?
Oh, I'm going to say it's 2:30. I'm meeting with him on Friday. I did receive, I just got it, I think it was this morning or last Friday, the contract for Peterson Consulting Services, the ones that do our assets, our asset sheet for us.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'll send it to Dan, have him look it over,
Okay.
and then this meeting, I just want to give you the heads up. But if you have any questions for me, that's about it right now.
Did you have any trouble putting these numbers in Gateway Form 2? Just slid them right in, okay. The property tax cap numbers that we got last Friday too. I tried to put those in the worksheet and they won't go in.
Okay. I'll take.
Did you do it? It just won't allow me to put anything, there's that it's the very bottom box of the worksheet, not the Form 4B, but the worksheet. It wouldn't allow me to put anything in. So I thought, well, maybe over the weekend they were gonna open it up, so I haven't tried since
Well,
then.
and I can email George and ask him too if you want me.
Let's give it a day,
Okay.
because I don't meet with him till next week,
Oh,
so,
yours is next week.
okay. Thank you.
Tom? Oh, I'm sorry, did you have
Sorry.
something?
We had talked about it in a meeting. Did you ever get another, just out of curiosity, talking about claims earlier, did you ever get a quote from that other company?
No,
Not yet.
no, emergency equipment?
Yeah.
Actually, this morning, before I came, I looked down and said, hey, they've never got back with me, so no.
I was just curious on that.
Yeah, I'll give them a call and say, are you gonna quote it or not, so.
Okay.
Commissioner?
Guys both out of town.
You're gonna unload on us now, aren't
At
you?
the same time, I'd like to make a motion that two commissioners cannot be out of town at the same. How long do I have to wait for a second?
A long time.
In the same
No,
state.
the only thing I have, I didn't know if you got an opportunity to see the Journal, but there was an interesting article in there on the $42 million shares.
No, I didn't see that one. What was?
It's quite lengthy, and the gal took some questions. I think that they were questions that were made up, or she made up and got information, but it was very interesting. And then comparing that to the article in the Post and Mail that they had about the new swimming pool and them selling bricks and things, but there was no mention that they had applied anyway. But I would think that would be certainly a project that would qualify for Whitley County's share, helping the city to finance that. And it appears a couple items that were mentioned in there are still going to be by the Economic Board in Indianapolis to be approved, so.
Don't forget, John Sampson said in that previous article, well, we don't need to worry about all the other communities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too small to worry about.
Yeah, that's right.
So, Mark?
I talked to Ryan, just about that regional cities, and I'm working on that one, but, the RDA money, that regional cities money is designed to be the capstone. They're wanting your portion before you make your final presentation to them.
Yeah.
So basically then if they approve it, you write the check, everything's done. So they're looking for you to provide your amount first, then come to them. So that's why they're fundraising now. They're up for a DECO grant and several other things before they make their application to them. Part of the aquatic center is the main project that they're planning on using that for.
Sure.
So,
That's an 80-20 match, I believe.
yeah, they said they were looking
No,
for
80-20 now.
For them, they said they're looking for approximately. They said it
Who's
would be
80?
800, approximately 800,000.
They're only gonna provide 20%.
That they would be looking for.
Holy cow.
And
Like he
they're
said,
saying,
it's just
what is
capstone.
it,
You come up with
60%
80%,
has
they'll
to
come up
come
with.
from, private funding sources.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, that's all I have.
Where the heck you went from
Yeah, I'm kind of glad we didn't get involved in that
Oh, I am
any
too.
heavier than what we did.
I am too. Man, we'd have had to come up with a bunch of money, wouldn't we?
Be financially embarrassed. Sorry.
I just wa-
Project
but I guess I
can't
wanna
go
make-
Because you cannot, we do not have the matching funds, especially that we have to have them up front first, but
Well, and it was presented as a 50-50 match. and-
Yeah, that's the way it was,
Yeah, I
50/50.
don't think that's.
I just want to make
I
sure
don't
the
think that's
Ash
the way it's
Building,
done.
they did that, and the riverfront, that they did that as well, so.
Well, the embassy has just gotten approval,
Yeah.
some project in DeKalb County.
The YMCA in DeKalb, which, what, the president of the,
Yeah.
and I'm not throwing stones, because he recused himself. but-
Yes, you.
Well, no, he
throwing
did
big stones.
recuse himself.
You're
But-
throwing big stones. Come
Okay,
on, man.
fine. I don't know the guy.
Get religion. Come on.
Can't we-
Be nice.
I think he wants you to step up.
Oh, don't spill your coffee. Go ahead, it's your time to ask a question.
Commissioner?
Oh, I got nothing. I had a good time last week. Did you have a good time
I had a
last week?
great time last week.
We really missed this place, didn't we?
Last week, I just had a great time last week.
Weather was wonderful. Fishing was good.
There was no jailbreaks in Whitley County.
There you go. Thanks for taking
Safe and
care of
sound.
us. Oh, my.
I have one big thing that I want to do is I want to recognize Jessica Hockmeyer. She is our voter registration, I don't know, I guess, the head of voter registration.
Right, yep.
And it was announced that she was honored and awarded induction into the IVRA, which is the Indiana Voter Registration Association Hall of Fame, for her outstanding work in helping to promote the IVRA. What makes this award even more special is that Jessica was nominated for this award by her peers. She is deserving of this award, and she deserves everything to do with voting. She truly loves everything to do with voting, the registration process, the election process, assisting voters and candidates. And, we've got to be proud of our employees
She's a great-
when they
She's a
get
great gal.
inducted into the
We need
Hall of Fame.
we need a proclamation for her. If we could have Deb and her come. You still have the proclamation forms? What do you think?
That'd
Should
be
we do
great.
a proclamation for
I think that'd be
Jessica
great.
and have her come to the meeting, and her and Debbie come to the
You
meeting?
okay with that?
She's a Hall of Famer.
Thank you.
What I'd like to also get approval from commissioners to take to council to appropriate $5,000 to the US 30 Coalition, which enables us to long-term plan for the US 30 project, designating US 30 into a freeway. We have individuals within the county that have been meeting and trying to come up with plans, which we have some plans now that, between the county and the city, we've come up with some decent plans. But what this is for taking those plans to the individual counties around us, Allen County, Kosciuszko County, Marshall County, Stark County, and Porter County, working with them and making sure that everything has a good flow to it, and that when we present that to NDOT, that they'll consider our needs instead of just giving us something.
I think it's a great idea because it makes us proactive. And I think if we're not going to lead in this, we're going to end up a follower. So you want a motion to take it to the council for the
Yes.
money? I'd like to make a motion that we take this to the county council for funding.
Okay, we've got a motion. Got a second? Any further discussion? One thing I will tell you is that I've been going, the last meeting I went to of the coalition, and we are way ahead of anybody else on this because of the fact that we, since January, have been meeting every month and have come up with some kind of a plan. And the other counties were a little bit embarrassed that they weren't as up on it as much as we were.
Probably ought to brace yourself. Well, let's call for a question if we do that.
Okay. Those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
What I was gonna say is you probably better brace yourself because you're probably gonna be meeting from here to Valparaiso. I mean, really, because you're really taking, you being generic for the Whitley County contingent,
Right.
taking this thing forward and you're gonna be just like those two people back there with regard to concerned citizens. They probably called all over the
Yeah.
country these days, so that's what's gonna happen, so, but I applaud you for doing that, because they'll run over us if we don't
Oh,
be
yeah.
proactive.
Yep.
So,
I guess that's all I have right now. Oh, yeah. One thing I want to do is, I want to get approval for the out of seated for 2017
Oh, yeah.
for,
yeah. Time management?
yeah, our time management to
Yeah.
the right stuff.
Yep.
And that's the initial fees for installation training, the time clocks, licensing and support, off-site hosting, and then the initial cost is $42,100. Annual cost would be $27,600. And for the first year, we have a $67,400 cost for the operation, but I think it'll be well worth it.
What's the total amount?
$67,400, and then after that,
That's
every
first
year will
year.
be $27,000.
Out of seated.
We were just trying to kick it off with CETA right now. We could bring it to council and see if they won't fund it,
Come out of
then.
Cume Cap
Yeah,
or
we
something.
could do that at Cube Cap.
Sorry, I believe they already made a motion to approve that. I want to say they did, or did they talk about it?
They tabled it.
Did they table it?
Yeah.
Because I talked to
Tom,
Kim.
does that ring a bell to you? Whether you've already approved it?
I think you tabled it.
Time
We
management?
talked about
I
it.
don't think we approved it,
Okay.
But you're right, they did say
but I
something about
could.
it.
But it was Cube Cap, that's right.
Yeah, and I
I
think
do.
Was
It's
that? We talked
been a couple of meetings.
Kim had
So-
me appropriate it in Cume Caps.
Well, I'm just,
No, yep.
okay.
Well, I thought that the idea was we could sign the contract, knowing it's 2017 money, but we could sign the contract so they could get
Get 'em
started the fourth quarter, so come January 1, we're ready to
Right.
shoot
But
out
if it
with
came out
it.
of Cube Cap, it'd be the same thing. They could.
Yeah, Cume Cap's fine too, yeah.
Janet, do you have it named back minutes?
Well, when you guys discussed it, you said you'd like to see it in the budget year for 2017. You want to see it budgeted. And when I talked to Kim, I think we talked about taking it out of Cume Cap. He asked me to appropriate it in there for next year. To put it in there for you guys to discuss it.
But I don't think anybody had a preference where it came from, whether it was seated or what. They just thought it ought to be budgeted.
Yeah. Okay.
So, do we want approval of the contract then, so that council, we can present it to council for,
I make a motion that
Funding?
we approve the contract with Right Stuff and take it to council with a favorable pass.
okay, we got a motion for a favorable pass for the Right Stuff time management system?
Second.
Got a second? Any further discussion?
What's it supposed to do for us, for the county? What are the benefits?
Oh, it's a payroll thing where.
We're shipping our payroll out?
No, wait a minute. I can't answer that one, but it's like, right now, you could come in at 20 after 8 every day, and there's no documentation. Nobody knows. This is gonna be a time management where you'll have to, when I say clock in, I wouldn't picture the old time clock with the card, because it'll be computer
It's gonna be
based.
something like that.
Yep,
And all of this paperwork that they have, that they're making out time cards.
yep. It'll
that
free up
the management has to do, will be done and over with. They
it'll
won't have
free
to
up
take
the
all
de-
that time.
yeah.
Where are you going to do this on the computer?
Every computer. I'm going back to what we did when we converted at Parkview. I could go to any Parkview computer, log on with my employee number and click in, I'm here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and it told, And then that documented it so that the department head didn't have to make out this big sheet of paper on everybody, every pay period.
If we got 20 or 21 highway drivers lined up to do this, what if they're in line and you get there and you clock in and you're 3 or 4 minutes late because of computer? Are we gonna have to buy a bunch of computers to put down?
It's not for the highway, we are gonna have, time clocks, but they're thumb-based. So it will be a unit that sits on the wall, and they'll go in and they'll click their thumb, and that will clock them in. And we are doing for the jail as well as community corrections,
Basically, it's just doing exactly what we're doing now electronically.
just electronically. It's just changing it to all electronics.
So we're buying electronics for 67,000.
No, the electronics, the initial cost is $42,100, and then annually, it's $27,600.
Question?
Yes. Those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
It's the same system that Kosciuszko County uses, and there was another one?
Yeah, there's a couple of them down south.
But it's the same system,
They're the same.
Kosciuszko.
God, I hope Kosciuszko commissioners don't jump out the 15th story over there, because we'll have to do it in Whitley County.
Really old. It's really, really old technology.
Yeah.
We're already way behind.
Okay, I guess that's all I've got. Anyone in the audience? Scott, did you have something? Hold on.
After all the rest.
Okay. Joanne?
Well, I'm kind of in search of some clarification again. And maybe this last discussion fits into it as well, because we're talking about lots of money for software to do stuff. On April Whetstone with the recorder's office, we're going from 10,000, I'm assuming that was a yearly fee, to 17,000 a year. And I'm just putting together comments that I heard her make. Maybe you all had a packet of information ahead of time that will give me the answers. She said because they were afraid Windows wasn't going to be supported for very long. So does that mean you're running a Windows 7 based system and they'd have to upgrade to 10 anyway?
Pretty much, that's what it's going to be, is that the system that they've got now, the software they're using now is a older generation. They've got a new generation software that we haven't upgraded to that will work with Windows 10. And that's basically the reason that they're doing that is Windows 10 won't be, 7's going to be supported for another couple of years, but what they're trying to do is be a little bit up front, instead of going and being in a panic about having to change that over. They're going ahead, doing it right now, and getting that software taken care of. One thing you need to know about this software, what that does is they get paid for any information that they give out, and that's what this software deals with, is anything that the recorder's office provides for the title companies, then they get paid for that, and that pays for that $17,000. It pays for itself.
So why are we switching from a Windows-based system to a Google-based system? Where does that fit in the equation?
I don't think it's really a Google base.
Like I said,
It's still
I'm following
Windows.
what she said,
Yeah, it's
so-
still Windows based. It's all, the operating system is a Windows base. It's through Google, but it's not, Google is not an operating system.
Well, that's what we were sitting here.
Yeah,
I guess I would encourage you to go talk to April,
yeah,
really.
yeah.
I don't think it's any secret for software companies to stay in business, they have to upgrade.
Oh, yeah.
They can't keep selling, so it's.
But Fiddler is a great system, and we've been real happy with them. But I talked to April this morning a little bit about it, and I tried to get as much information as I could. But that's, she was saying Google, but Google is not an operating system. It's
But
still.
the bottom line is that whatever software we're going to, or whatever we already have, is a revenue generator.
Yes, that's what generates our revenue, is that program.
Yeah, Windows operating system, Google's where the information really comes from.
Yeah.
Did you Google that, Tom, and get that information?
Well, no, somebody else
Good
told me.
job.
I would have never figured it.
I gotta say, somebody would have had to tell me. Yep.
Anything else?
So move. Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you, everyone.